Hi everyone, this is Chris. Thank you for joining me. In today's video, I'm going to show you another way to make an easel for your card. So I already have a video and I will put the link on the upper right corner where you can go and see two other ways to make easels for your card. This one is a little bit different because this one we're going to stick it directly down onto your card base. Okay, so it can be a card, it can be also a postcard if you wanted to. You don't have to have a double card like this. It will work also. And it will adapt to many sizes as well. We're going to see that in a minute. So for this, you will need a piece of cardstock. And I would recommend using heavy cardstock because if it's too flimsy, it may not work as well. And this is going to be the size of a normal A2 size card, which means 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Which also means that you can make 4 of these in one regular letter size page. Alright, so I'm going to give you the measurements in inches and also in centimeters, depending on where you live. It's going to be easier. And for this, I am going to use a score tool. This is a score pal, whatever the brand is, will work. And you're going to need, of course, a scoring tool, but also a pencil, because we're not going to score everywhere. We're going to have to do some cutting also. First, we're going to make some pencil marks. So you're going to put your paper this way, the hot dog way, and you're going to make a pencil mark at 1 inch, and then you're going to make another one at 3/4 and 3 inches and 1/4. 1 inch, 3 inch and 1/4. Then we're going to score at 1 inch and 3/4 and 2 inches and 1/2. So again, pencil mark 1 inch, 3 inches and 1/4, score line 1 inch and 3/4, 2 inch and 1/2, which makes in centimeters. Let me take my cheat sheet. You're going to make the pencil mark at 2 centimeters and 1/2, and then 8 centimeters and 1/2, and you're going to score at 4 centimeters and 1/2 and 6 centimeters and 1/2. Okay? You can always put the video back and look at it again if I went a bit too quickly. Then you're going to turn your paper where you have your pencil marks on the right. We're going to make two more pencil marks. This time it's going to be 1/4 of an inch from the left. It can be also a little bit more, but let's say 1/4 will do fine. And we'll also do 1/4 here on the bottom there. And then you're going to make one score at 2 inches and 1/2. All right, which is in centimeters. 0.5 centimeters here, a little pencil mark, 0.5 centimeters here. And then you're going to score at 7 centimeters and 1/2. Now it's over for the scoring part. We're going to start cutting. So you can see here where you have your smallest pencil marks, we're going to start cutting. And I think it's easier if you cut it by hand, but that's totally up to you. And you're going to start from that pencil mark to the first fold. And the same thing here, to the first score line there to your pencil mark. It doesn't have to be perfect, but that's good. Okay, this is because we need to make an angle so your card is going to lay back a little bit. If you want to make your card lean over a bit more, just cut a little bit more up here, and it will lay down a bit further away. Now we're going to cut a little bit more, and this time I think it's easier if we use a cutting tool. You could also use an X-Acto knife and a ruler. It will work as well. I need to zoom out a little bit more. All right, so now you're going to go from this pencil mark here to the bottom angle or corner here. You're going to cut on an angle. So I'm putting my pencil mark there, my corner here, and cut. I didn't cut very well. I'm going to do that again. All right, that's much better. We're going to do the same thing here. Cut from the pencil mark to the corner here. That's much better. All right, you can put that away. And now this is the shape you're going to be left with. Now there's something really important that we need to do is cut a kind of a half circle. I think it's easier if you have some dies to use a die. So just to let you know, this die is 2 inches wide and it's a good size. You can also draw it by hand. But something I want to mention a little bit. You have your scoring line here. We're not going to score it. It's just there to help us in the future. You're going to put your die a little bit upper than your score line. So it's not completely in the half, it's a little over. And we're going to cut this part. So let me show you with, I'm using a Big Shot, but it will work with any kind of cutting machine. The easiest way to do so is to put your scoring line parallel to the plate here. Then you're going to put your die and try to center it, which means to have the same amount of space here and there. And then you're going to put your upper plate at the same place as your down plate. Okay, also very parallel. And then you're going to run it through. So it will cut only half of your die here. Of course, I already did that. And this is what you're going to come and have, okay? And now we're going to fold it. And the fold is exactly on your fold line here. You don't need to fold this part here at all. We're gonna do now some snipping. So I hope you'll be able to see it, but here are my 2 fold lines that are also here. We're gonna snip here up to almost the middle. So I'm gonna snap here and snip here. Not snap, but snip here. All right, so we're gonna end up having a little flap. We're also going to snip here from that part to the fold line. And same thing on the other side. And that's it. Now we are going to fold this. I'm going to put it back. Once you're at this stage, it's very easy. Fold these 2, grab your little flap here, put it straight, and the 2 others on the side here and down. And this is your easel done. And then this is the only place where you're going to put your double-sided tape. Certainly not on the circle, otherwise it won't be able to do that shape afterwards. So I'm going to take a little bit of adhesive, put this in this middle line, then you're going to take your card, put it right up there at the bottom, center it, and glue it down. Open it up, and there you go. Try to make it the same color as your background card. I think it's nicer to make the same colors. Like for this one, for example, it's a blue card, and I did the same thing, but this card is a bit longer. So this is the American A2 size card, and it fits perfectly. On a more French or European size card, it's going to be a little bit longer, but even though it's longer, you can see it's not touching down. I kind of center it, but it works exactly the same. The only thing is going to be the card here is a little shorter. So what you will need to do is probably trim off the edges here on one side and the other. So when it lays flat, it's just the perfect size. But otherwise, it's going to work exactly. So you can adapt this very easily to almost any kind of card. And as you can see, it stands perfectly. This is why you need to use some kind of thick cardstock to make it really sturdy. And I think it's really nice, and people can look at your card in a very easy way, because sometimes when you want to open it up, it's a bit flimsy. If you have put a lot of embellishments, it may fall off, but it's absolutely gorgeous this way. And again, try to probably use the same color. So I hope this was useful. It's a bit more, let's say, complicated than the other two that I showed you previously, but it's not that much. And remember, this can be your template, okay? Then I can use a card, a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, trace around, and just do the cutting part here and make marks to where you need to fold. And this is your template, and it will go much faster if you use this, but it was really not complicated at all. Once you've done it once, you'll see it's really easy to do over and over again. So there you go. I hope you will like this video. Please give me some thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button. You can also share on social medias, on Pinterest, on Instagram, on Facebook, where you can post your own creations there. And to share it with us, there's absolutely no judging. And I would also appreciate very much if you would comment this video. Thank you very much for being here. See you soon for other videos, and take care.